Welty, are you okay? You look like a mess.
What do you mean? I mean, I'm sweaty. I've been working out. I'm ready for my UFC debut. I'm going to be the champion one day.
You don't even have a wrestling name or fighting name. What are you talking about?
Do I need one?
Yes.
Guys, come on. Give me one. Give me one.
Bro,
The Ararat Assassin.
you look divorced. Why don't you just call yourself divorced?
You look like you're training for resell in a cell. Like, what does this look, man?
What you gonna do, bro? You're gonna be cook liver out there.
You gotta train harder.
I'm going to win, man. I want to win my first fight.
The only thing you're gonna win is the DJ Khaled lookalike contest.
Ooh.
DJ Khaled with no haircut lookalike contest.
You are not the best.
Whatever. I gotta go get back to the training.
Ugh.
Yep. You can count on me. Count on me. Count on me. Count it up.
That's a full size. That's a full size. She want every color. That's a full size.
Hello to every single member of the FS Army watching across the world. Of course, I'm your co-host, Brendan Dunne.
I'm at Welty.
Trinidad James, baby.
And we have with us here today Daniel Cormier. He's a former MMA champ. He's a Louisiana native, and he's a guy who loves his sneakers. Daniel, welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Thank you guys for having me.
How you
What's up,
feeling,
brother?
man?
Good. Tired, but good.
I am so tired, man. I'm going to try and stay awake. I just got off a plane, but I am here. Daniel, we want to talk about your sneaker history. The first thing we want to talk about, though, the shoes everyone has on feet. Welty, what are you wearing?
Got a pair of shoes that I've had for a bit but haven't worn. So it's Highs and Lows X Adidas Torsion Edberg.
Okay, going into the archive. Trinidad, what do you got?
I did these 2000 Nike Air Force One mids, the original Kobe Bryant Rucker Park joints.
All right.
They brought it back with the low top version, but this is the mid, like the first one that he wore in the park. RIP to the GOAT. Been holding on to these for a while. Also, like my boy Welty. Shout out to my boy Eric Kong in New York City. Yeah, these are fire.
Daniel, what do you got on feet?
Just Air Max 360s. I got they're the black with the pink, blue, green. It says 2020 on them. I wish I could dump them. 2020 has just been a dump on all of us. So I kind of want to because they have 2020 on them. But they're kind of like my everyday. I wear them every day. I kind of throw them on. They're cool.
But you might burn them in effigy to kind of, reflect how bad of a year it's been.
It's been a bad year. It's been a very bad year. But I'd burn them. But with my luck, I'd burn down the whole house.
No, but we don't
burn
want
down the
that.
house, man.
We don't want to be responsible for that. The lawyers are watching. Daniel, listen, I barely had time to unpack, so I had to run back some Reeboks again. Kind of still, doing that Reebok classic. It's exactly what you expect. By the way, before we get into it, I want to mention this is another charity episode. If you click on the box right here, you could donate to the Bail Project, which is fighting to end mass incarceration here in the United States.
Now, guys, as you can see, I'm also on the road myself. Like, I'm taking a chapter from my boy Brendan's book of being traveled. So I don't have my background on me, but I still want to take some time to give some love and respect to this queen, Ursula Burns. I'm born in New York City. She's the former CEO of Xerox and the first African-American woman to be the lead of a SP 500 company. When it comes to being a businesswoman, she is definitely an example that for a person like myself, I did not know. And it's just great to hear these stories as we keep on fighting to get the issue of Black lives mattering on all aspects, not just in a race thing, but like business and leaders, and to know that there's people that have fought that fight, should I say, before now. Shout out to her, Ursula Burns.
Guys, let's talk sneaker news. The first shoe we want to discuss is the upcoming Union Jordan 4, a sneaker that leaked and everybody has an opinion on it. Daniel, do you have the old Union Jordan 1s? Do you like these? How do you feel?
I mean, I think they're okay. A little busy for me, but I think they're okay. It's a great shoe, right? The Jordan 4s are a great shoe. These might be a little bit too busy for me. I don't necessarily like the yellow sole. Good shoe, but I'm not sure I like that actual color scheme there.
Welty, I know you have a bunch of takes to fire on this shoe. You want to go ahead?
No, I mean, the first picture came out. It looked like it was shot on a potato, like they usually are. Everyone on the internet hated it. I feel neutral about it, but I feel like in a month's time, this is going to be everyone's grail and going to be on a Sneaker of the Year's list. So
I understand where he's coming from. It's very interesting. I think that to a certain extent, this is not the full reveal, but I can't go too deep into my sources yet. I gotta wait and see.
You have some deeply placed sources right now?
Hey, I know some things. That's all.
Chris
I'm
Gibbs
saying.
on the phone?
I know some things. That's all I'm saying. But more importantly, though, if it was this shoe right here that we're looking at, I did start off on the weird side of things or whatever. I wasn't for it. But I will say, that potato picture had me completely hot. As I've seen better pictures, Clark Kent,
I'm different.
he got his pair recently. I could see myself doing my thing in these, and now I have a little bit more information. I think the tongue is like a skateboard tongue on it.
Reveal the sources. Come on, tell us what's happening.
Never.
Hey, come on, man. Well, that's why it's a plug, man. Everybody can't have a plug, man. Put it like this. I always need to hold the shoe in my hand before I make a final verdict. Because that's the only way you could ever be honest with a sneaker.
Next bit of sneaker news going on. Nike unveiled the Metcon 6, its new training shoe, CrossFit shoe, gym shoe. I think they're all right. Daniel, do you like these? What do you train in?
You know, for me, it's like, it's different. Right? Like a basketball player might wear this, which was odd because back in the day, basketball dudes always wore higher top shoes because of the ankle, right? They wanted to protect the ankle, make sure that everything was protected. For me, I wouldn't run in a shoe like this, right? So my running shoes have to give a lot of...
What are you running from?
No, like when I train, right? For my training, when I'm running, I usually try to wear a different type of shoe. As I watch guys train and play basketball, it seems like something more like they're wearing now. For me, or weightlifting, it looks like the flat sole.
Yeah, we're doing squats in these.
Probably use it, with the squats, with the flat sole and everything. If you're trying to do endurance and cardio stuff, that wouldn't be the shoe.
You're not doing rope climbs in those?
You know, honestly, when you're climbing rope, it's better to have no shoes. You just do it with your feet, you know. So this is more of a strength shoe, or if you're trying to play basketball, it looks like to me.
Obviously, MMA is MMA, but it has a lot of wrestling influence in it, and we know wrestling shoes are usually high, like a higher top, more strapped to the ankle. I realized I never paid attention to. They don't wear shoes in there.
We don't.
I was just wondering, like, if you guys were to wear shoes, like, would you still wear something high top? Or would you keep it low?
I'd probably wear a wrestling shoe if you could wear it. And even if, because we're kicking each other, right? We kick each other. If I'm kicking you.
You want something with like a steel toe on it, right?
I'm trying to wear Timberlands to kick. If we can wear whatever we want, I'm wearing Timbs in the octagon. But the reality is, in some organizations, they let people wear shoes and they wore wrestling shoes because they're softer on the tip.
You don't want your tip too soft.
No, you don't. You don't necessarily want it soft, but you want it soft when you're kicking people.
Right.
I got my wrestling shoes stolen out of my locker in freshman year of high school.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like last week.
No, that's a small tidbit. But before we go on to the next stuff, I just had to say that.
Losing wrestling shoes is so sad when you're in high school because it's like you can't really like buy another pair. It's like it's one pair of wrestling shoes forever.
That's a crazy little short story right there, Welty. I just want to put that out there.
He's out here telling stories again.
If you met that guy right now,
you'll get your revenge one day.
What happens? Like, is there a square off? What if he's wearing the shoes from 9th grade? Daniel, a little info on Welty. He is really taking care of himself or whatever during the quarantine, just being very healthy, right?
12-gram protein shakes for breakfast.
He's not fucking around, okay? What happens if he goes to some gym around New York or something? The guy's in there from high school. He has on the wrestling shoes. What happens next?
Yo, dude, the fact that you can still wear these shoes is an accomplishment in itself. And the fact that you're brave enough to be at a gym with wrestling shoes on, then, you know, I don't want to beat you up. I'm going to pat you on the back. Because you don't,
really? We're not giving him a flying kick to the jaw?
I'm not kicking him in the jaw because if a dude's in the gym with wrestling shoes, dude's got problems, man. Nobody's wearing wrestling shoes.
It's a sign. It's a warning.
Stay away.
Beware that guy.
Social extreme distancing.
Yeah.
Give us, your earliest sneaker history, man. Growing up in Louisiana, where did it start? Like before, money and fame and all those good things happened. Like
that's where it gets difficult because before I couldn't afford to buy sneakers, right? I wasn't one.
You were stealing them out of Welty's locker?
No, if Welty had a locker, I'd probably be in there just trying to steal his tennis shoes. We couldn't afford, to buy all those shoes. So you know what mine started was Finger Hut. It was a magazine where it was $19.99 a month for your parent to pay in order to buy the shoes. And that's how I got my first pair of Nikes. 5th grade, I wore some white Nikes, and they were just the most basic Nike tennis shoes of all time. And my mom was so proud because she was able to buy me and my brother and sister Nikes to go to school. And when I look back on it, I'm very proud of my mom and my dad for making the sacrifices they had to make. Hey, you guys understand that even an extra $20, that's just another bill. Especially,
right.
another $20 bill was not It was not as simple as it is today to me.
Those 20s aren't easy to come by when you're a young parent.
No, it's hard.
I want to ask too, growing up in Louisiana specifically, did Reebok mean a lot to you? Because I've heard stuff about, No Limit Soldiers and Soldieries. How big was that for you growing up?
They made it cool to buy shoes that weren't very expensive and wear them and be proud of them. You had the Reebok Classics, you had the Classic Blacks, and then you had the Soldiers, right? They were black with the brown sole on the bottom. And if you wear those, you were the man because everybody was wearing them. And it went from the athlete was wearing it to the guy that stood on the block was wearing it to everybody was wearing that to Master P and the rappers were wearing it. Then when the Hot Boys came out with Lil Wayne and Turk and BG and all of them, they were all wearing it. And Juvenile, everybody wore those shoes. So it made.
Were you wearing it?
I wore them. I got them. I got a pair from Payless when I was in 7th grade. They were selling them there. They were $39.
Did Nike still matter at that time? Even though everybody in Louisiana was wearing Reebok, if somebody wore Nikes, was it like not cool at all, or people still respected it?
No, it was still cool, right? It was always cool because you got to think when I was in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, Michael Jordan was just becoming the man. It was go stand at Foot Locker or go stand at Foot Action for hours to wait for the new Jordans to come out. The Reebok was more the shoe for everybody to wear, but the Jordan was for that kid whose parents were willing to pay $120 for a pair of tennis shoes, which was something most of us wasn't doing. But if a kid came to school with the new Jordans, he was the man.
Okay, the power was still there.
It was still there. The power was still there, right?
Even the Jordan guy had some Reebok.
Yes, he did.
Uh,
You like that, huh? He was the man. He was the man.
DC, have you ever resold any of your sneakers?
I've never done that. Now my nephew would resell sneakers, and he was always like, he was like, Unc. He always calls me Unc. He's Unc. I'm telling you, if you sell these, you could make some money. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just keep my shoes. The reality is, I don't really even wear many of my tennis shoes anymore. They're almost like props. It's like they just sit up in my closet the whole time. Like I buy all these shoes, and I don't really wear them very often.
All right.
You guys sell them?
Oh, you're talking to the black market over there. Okay.
every once in a while.
When did your status become like helpful for you getting sneakers? Like when did you realize like, oh shit, like they're looking out for me because of my belts?
That plug we were speaking about.
I remember this pair of Jordans. They have like the championship ring on the front. I can't remember the name of them.
Was it the 6s with the ring on it? The green ones?
Ring on them, right? And I was big for a fight, and I was like, my nephew showed me the shoes, but they didn't have them anywhere. And I was, man, I really want these shoes. So I told someone at the UFC, I really wanted those shoes. Hour later, guy shows up at my hotel, brand new shoes in the box at retail. I didn't even have to pay the up price for the shoes. They sold them for like $140. I was like, this is a win.
Hey man, they want to sell the shoe to a champ.
And at that point, I understood if there was ever a pair of shoes I really, really wanted, I just needed to tell somebody at the UFC that I wanted the shoes. I would take a couple pictures and I would have the shoes.
Did you start going crazy once that light went off in your head?
I started to take advantage. At a point, they stopped taking my phone calls. They were like, another pair of shoes.
Screening the calls.
They're screening. Oh, here calls Daniel. This dude must want some more tennis shoes.
Do you feel like anybody else in the UFC can compare to you when it comes to really being obsessed with sneakers?
Mac Holloway's shoe game is just insane. He goes crazy because for a while I was going nuts. And Cody Garbrandt has some pretty good shoes too.
Right, I know him.
He bought me some sick off-whites. Just randomly bought me these sick off-whites because him and I were talking about shoes. Those guys they have pretty good shoes, but Max Holloway by far. Max Holloway's a guy.
But why is it that nobody in the MMA has like a signature shoe? Like I know you can't wear them in the ring. You got to kick people's faces in other avenues. But why does nobody have a cool signature shoe? A fighter.
Jon Jones had a shoe back in the day.
The trainer one. Yeah. Did you like those?
Well, I mean, I don't like Jon Jones, so and I don't like anything associated with Jon Jones, so I didn't wear his shoe, but I know he did.
So you didn't like him?
I mean, I don't know. I don't even remember how the shoe looks.
Forgettable.
Right now, you're asking me questions that I just don't like. Run the risk, Brendan. You're starting to run the risk, Brendan, of toeing the line here. So no, I'm just kidding.
Is that the toe with the steel on it?
Yeah, it's the toe with the steel. Of my toe with the steel coming towards.
Keep towing, baby. Keep towing.
And I believe that if Jones would have stayed, not gotten into so much trouble, his profile would have continued to raise to where it might have got some traction. But I think Nike kind of put a halt on it whenever all those things started going sideways, and it kind of disappeared.
When he took the Viagra pill, it all went downhill, right?
Just trying to make sure the tip isn't too soft.
I think it was more the time he hit the pregnant lady with the vehicle. I think that was the one. When he got into that accident was the one where Nike's like, you know what, we're out.
Jordan 11s. You're a Jordan 11 guy.
Yep, those are,
Why Jordan 11? So many great Jordans out there. Why Jordan 11?
it was the patent leather around the sole. It just looks good to me. I like it. I'm a high school sophomore. This hot shoe comes out. Everybody's copping them. I don't, because I ain't got $150 to buy a pair of tennis shoes. The moment I started to make money and I started to be able to get the shoes that I wanted, I went back to all those memories of as a kid where I didn't have them. So I just kind of bought them all. And then I just noticed that I was wearing the 11 more than I'd worn any other one. And then I got the Space Jam, and then I got the Breads, and I just kept getting them. And I was like, this is just the best shoe of all of them. And I honestly felt they were a little more comfortable too.
Has Jordan Brand ever hooked you up with anything?
Here's the difference, right? Like, you can get free stuff as the UFC champion, but then there's certain companies where you just kind of, I don't know if I've reached that level yet. You know, you call Jordan, they're like, hey, come on, man, we're taking care of, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant. You're fighting. You can't even wear the shoe. What can you really do to promote the shoe? So,
well, we'll put the bat signal up with this episode and make sure they send you a package.
yeah, man, tell them look me up. Like, I'm out here.
I'm out here.
I want to ask you about Reebok again. How do you feel in general about the Reebok UFC deal? Do you think that was good for the sport overall? I know it's expiring this year, and we'll see what happens with it next year. Like, how did you feel about it?
Initially, there was a lot of excitement around it, right? Because for a long time, the UFC has been trying to be legitimate, right? We've always been that sport where we were kind of on the outside and trying to make it into the mainstream. And we started fighting on Fox, which was massive. And then now we're on now it's on ESPN, which is even bigger. But to have an outfitter like Reebok, a real company that's recognized worldwide, made it feel really excited. And then they started spelling people's names wrong on the back of fighter jerseys. And then the gear didn't look as good as you expected it to. And I think as we got going, it got better. And I liked it. I thought it made the sport look clean. I know you watch MMA from back in the day, you saw a lot of patches on the shirts and there was like a banner behind with all the sponsors. I like the way Reebok has a good, clean color scheme, and you might have one sponsor if you're like I'm sponsored by Monster, which was a UFC sponsor, so they were able to put their logo on my short, but that was it. When you look at the NBA and you look at the sponsors they have here, and you see how clean it looks, and I think the UFC and Reebok, that deal allowed for us to be more mainstream and more in tune with everything else in terms of the visuals.
Are you hoping they re-sign?
No, they're not re-signing. The UFC just got a new deal with a company called Venom. Venom is the outfitting provider of the UFC. Venom isn't as big as Reebok, but Venom is a MMA apparel company. So I imagine that where there was that trial and error period with Reebok to make gear that felt good for the fighter, you won't have that with
They're already ready.
Yep, they're already ready.
DC, coming up, August 15th, you have the trilogy fight with Stipe Miocic.
Yep.
If you had to compare Stipe to a pair of sneakers, what would it be?
He's kind of like plain. He's kind of like a plain guy. He's a good guy. Meat and potatoes. Yeah. New Balance. Put some New Balance on. You can go run in them. You can go run in them.
The original dad shoe.
In those New Balance, you can run in them. You decide you want to jump in the mud. Go jump in the mud. You just throw them in the washing machine. It don't matter how bad they get creased and beat up.
Is he the all gray shoe, or is he like the white and blue dad shoe, or?
I don't know, man. He's about as he's basic. The basic New Balance. Those ones that they're white with the N on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Where you see people wearing them, you want to walk behind them and kick the back of their foot because you know they're going to do really bad.
That's why you need the balance.
That's crazy that you're kicking the back of people's feet, man.
Hey,
come on.
I do it to my friends all the time, bro. I still walk behind them and kick their feet together. They always all tripping. It's so funny.
Listen, Daniel, every single week here on the show, we punish someone in the worst take section for something terrible they did or said last week, as decided by the YouTube commenters. We make them switch out their shoes for something awful. This week, it is me. for saying that I only wear shorts 5 times a year. I'm still kind of committed to that pledge, but I am wearing shorts right now, so there's a little bit of growth. Eric Emanuel, I got some shorts at home that I like to lounge around the house in, only around the house because I'm a grown man. I don't wear shorts outside.
Wait, grown men don't wear shorts outside?
You know what? I only allow myself 5 shorts wears in a year. Just don't like to show my knees too often. I'm gonna switch out my shoes. I don't have any terrible sneakers to replace them with, so you're gonna have to watch me go naked on the toes. No shoes, no socks today for the rest of the show. So that's what it is. Tell us in the comments who earned that distinction, and we'll punish them next week.
That's probably going to earn you another punishment next week.
All I can be is honest.
DC, we also do a segment on the show called Drip, Flip, or Skip.
Mm-hmm.
Drip meaning looks good.
Yep.
Flip meaning that you resell it, and flip meaning you don't rock with it at all.
Okay.
The first shoe in Drip, Flip, or Skip is the Air Jordan 1 Tokyos. These came out before back in the day. I think it had a suitcase with it. I definitely missed them back then.
Drip is, you wear those, right? The ones are easy because you can wear them under jeans too. That's like
Right.
the ones, right? The ones you can wear them with jeans, you can wear them with sweats, you can wear them with shorts.
Only 5 times a year.
I'm gonna flip those. Those are gonna resell. Take them to StockX. Go to the bank.
Are these that limited? Are we anticipating big resale prices on this one? Should I invest?
Resale, definitely will resell. I don't know if it's gonna come in a suitcase.
Nah, we'll skip it. I'm pouring the money into Bitcoin.
There it is. So this is also I don't know. I want to say it's a skip because I kind of skipped it back in the day, and then if I'm not mistaken, it was a guy from Japan that came to Atlanta. I can only speak for Atlanta, and he bought literally every pair. And for some reason, at that point in time when he bought it, like a little bit after, everybody kind of wanted the shoe and it was gone. So
I'm waiting for the verdict. Okay. Stories again.
I'm gonna skip again. It's okay.
You almost made me want the shoes more because the Japanese dude bought them all. I was like,
You better watch out.
It was crazy. It's a weird thing there, man, with like super sneakerheads or like just like the sneaker game in general, where like you will sleep on something and then the disappearance of it will make you want it again. It's almost like a relationship. It's weird. Moving forward. Shoe number 2. We have the Reebok question. OG meets OG, Welty or Brendan, the real Reebok man. You can give us a little backstory on this because you'll tell it way better than I can. Whoever feels like it.
It's a James Harden, Allen Iverson crossover moment. OG, that's a GO for me. I'm dripping it.
Drip.
nah, I'm not wearing those. So I'm skipping these shoes. I wouldn't.
All right.
I'm not wearing them.
Hey, that was so serious. I already knew. As soon as you start shaking your head like this, I was like, well, that's not going to make it.
You don't like the Iversons?
Never really was into the Iversons. No, but I know a lot of people are, but I was never really into them all that much.
In New Orleans, in Louisiana, did this particular Reebok hold any weight, or it was just like a soldier thing?
It was
soldier and classic.
It was mostly the classics, but you did see a lot of people wearing the Iversons. You know, when a basketball player gets as big as Allen was, especially in like when in the black community, right? Allen Iverson felt like he was for the community, that everybody supported him, and a lot of people.
Correct. Because of the story behind it, honestly, I want to rock these. I want to rock these or whatever. Like because James Harden, he wore the Kobe, like you was telling me, Welty. So yeah, I'm with these. I'm not mad at it. Moving forward, shoe number 3, we have the Concept times New Balance 327. New Balance really loves this model because they're trying to make all their goddamn money. However, give me a concept, give me a colorway. I'm good God Almighty. DC, I'll start with you, man. How does this shoe make you feel?
Are those cherries? Are those?
It's
cranberries.
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 Dude, this looks like a shoe that I would wear more than the questions, because I'd wear these shoes with shorts, and I like the light color, and yeah, I think I would wear these. This is a drip for me, yeah.
Relax, Brendan. Welty, New Balance King. Drip, flip, or skip, sir?
I see concepts. I say drip. I want Dion, send me a pair if you can.
Dion, come on the show.
Absolutely begging. By the way, this is not a drip. This is not a flip. This is not a skip. This is a trip. Because when Stipe walks down the street with these on, look at that big platform underneath. You're going to be able to get him real easy. That's what I'm saying for these.
I don't have any of the 327s yet. I know, Brendan, you want the Casablancas.
Yep.
I kind of do too. The white and orange pair, though, is the one I want. You probably want the green.
I want them all.
Look at you. Look at you.
Or,
I got to see these in person. Dion usually doesn't drop the ball that much. I don't want New Balance to kill this model though. It's a good model. It's a new model. It's good. Like don't slut it. Please don't slut it out, New Balance. You're better than that. I love everything you're doing. These are drip. You're a drip. DC, we also do outfits, man.
Okay.
And it's no better outfits to do on the show. The goddamn Daniel Cormier outfit. Outfit number 1.
Oh yeah, that's fine, right?
Get me right. Tell me what's going on here. I see the belt for the flex.
Yep. So you got the belt. You got the Cuban link chain, I think.
We got our Concords on, of course.
Yep, got the
Our
Concords on,
there.
Givenchy t-shirt, and
Come on.
I don't know what kind of jeans these are.
So drip, flip, or skip, I must ask.
I wore it, so I'm dripping that all day. You know, it's kind of my style.
Welty, you're a real belt carrier around here. Drip, flip, or skip?
That's a drip. I see DC. I see a UFC belt. How do I hate on it? It's a drip.
I feel like he's over here texting Jordan Brand like, "Hey, big head." Clean Concords, that's a drip. I'm never mad at that shoe.
Understanding how you're looking at the outfit now. Concords, championship belt, drip light outfit. Outfit number 2.
I was looking bad. This
is
Come on.
peak UFC.
Yes,
You might
yes.
have like an Affliction T-shirt somewhere, like in the cut.
What kind of tennis shoes am I wearing?
You got some Adidas
You
like
tell us,
running
sir.
sneakers on.
Oh my goodness!
Who's the stylist here?
I went
Come on.
like that. So I think what happened here. This
All right.
The alibi.
This is 2010-11, right? So dethroned T-shirt, and if I got to be honest, it's got a probably True Religion or some sort of jeans from back in the day. You know, like yeah, you know, it's very surprising that I went outside like that.
Where are you? Where is this?
2011 was pre any championships. You know, these are all local championships. So I'm not dripping or flipping. I'm skipping that 100% in today's.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, I was expecting you to have like tap out on or something, so I gotta skip that one.
I'm skipping with you. I'm glad we brought the skeletons out of the closet, though.
Well, it's we can't let you slide on that one, brother. Or whatever. We don't want the one-on-one in the ring, but that thing right there, that ain't gonna
Wearing
sing.
that. You look like you still look like you just left Louisiana dressing like that.
It's like you're a cameraman for the Hot Boys. All right. Last but not least, in our outfits of greatness here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, we got a king in the ring with a king on the court, showing off their thing.
No, man. So listen to this story.
Stories again.
So when I was working for Fox Sports, I hosted this show called In the Clinch with Daniel Cormier. I'm in Cleveland with Stipe Miocic. Seriously, like, no, this was before we fought. I'm in Cleveland. I'm doing called In the Clinch. So first, the day starts, I go to Stipe's house. I interview him. Then we drive to his gym together. And then we were going into the Cavalier Stadium. And I was like, wow, it was LeBron's picture up there. You know, I thought it was great. I was like, it would be awesome to have this picture. This picture was taken by Stipe Miocic.
Oh
Really?
my God.
Behind the camera.
Yeah, it was. But this is. I'm wearing this outfit again. I mean, I may have worn this outfit very recently. Not the same exact outfit, but yeah, I'm wearing that outfit. Yeah, that's a drip.
That story's crazy. That story's crazy, so it's a drip.
I love the history. That's a drip.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? This is like the greatest story of the day.
The guy I'm
The
fighting
hell?
for the third time in 3 years. Like, I fought him in the summer of 18, summer of 19, and the summer of 2020. 6 months before that, I was interviewing him about his life and career. So, yeah.
That's amazing, man. I do want to ask this, though, because it's so interesting. When you fight somebody for the third time, and now knowing even a little bit more info, you had a past with this person on the personal, emotional side. Are you aware of any of the things that you're wearing? Like this might have been bad luck when I wore this. This was bad luck. When I wore this was good luck. Is there anything that you bring into this third fight that was like charms from the other ones?
Well, everything. I mean, I take everything. You know, I'm from Louisiana, so it's like we're so superstitious with everything. It's crazy. So I do a lot of the things I did the first time when I won the fight. This time, so that I'm not making this, you know, hoping that it changes the outcome.
Amazing. Thank you for that.
DC, before we get out of here for the day, we want to breeze the comment section and see what people have been saying about us on YouTube for the past week, which if you watch YouTube videos, you know they're a smart bunch. We have Maurice Anscombe II saying, I've been watching this show since the Marcus Jordan episode, and I love this show. It needs to be an hour long. I'm not sure I agree with you on all those points, but we'll take it. We have Robert saying, playing this in my living room on the surround sound system, and the bass on the intro track is fire and shakes the room. Trinidad, who produced that?
Young Fire from Iowa, my dog. What's up?
It is indeed
Hendrix.
fire. Confirmed. We also have Tyler M saying, Trinidad is honestly the best interviewer, always respects the guests and asks the best questions.
Thank you, everybody. Make sure you keep subscribing so we can see more great interviews.
There's your flowers, man. I am your co-host, Brendan Dunne.
I'm at Welty.
Hey, James,
And with us here today, Daniel Cormier.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
win your fight, man.
Thank you,
We're rooting for you.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
She want every color, that's a full size. Buy a 6 for my kids, bought a 7 for my
Guys, I really want you to subscribe. Subscribe. Get us 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, the Soul Collector YouTube page. We work hard for you. Work hard for us. Let's support each other. We're a community together for the right reasons. Subscribe. 500,000 subscribers. Get us there. Welty, what do you want from the community?
All season, we've been donating to the Bail Project, which helps fight against mass incarceration in the United States, and I want everyone to keep donating to it and keep fighting the good fight. Brendan, what do you want?
I want everybody out there to download the Soul Collector app because it is the best tool for price comparison on the secondary snooker market. Get that right now. Thank you.
Come on, guys. Get us right.
Do it.
She want every color, that's a full size. I like black tights, 3 stripes, gym chick, swoosh life. I like 'em Spanish Asian, like 'em black, white.